What is up, guys? You're very welcome to Frauditor Compilation number 16 here on Degenerate Watch. Thank you very much for joining me. In this video we're doing a spot of frauditing at a medical centre in New Mexico, but our frauditor gets thrown out by security when they decide to go hands-on.
Get out of here right now. Do you understand me? Get out of here right now.
We're also going to take a look at a couple of clips where I want to change your perspective on the outcome. The frauditors might think that they have got some sort of a win in these situations, but I think an even bigger win has been gained for the officials involved. Later we'll take a look at how the tide may be changing for frauditors. And we'll also hear from a frauditor who was interviewed on TV, although answers weren't very forthcoming.
Do you believe that some behavior is deliberately provocative?
Next question.
I wonder why he doesn't want to answer that question. So for all of that and more, stay tuned. So with all that being said, let's hop into our first clip. Enjoy. We're at a health centre in Bernalillo County in New Mexico for this video. Now I've cut out a lot of the usual wandering around the building perimeter and the hallways and stuff like that, and we're going to get straight to the action. So I'll bring you up to date on what's been happening to this point in the video. He's gone into this medical centre which he says that he's been to a couple of months previously. When he gets into the reception, he asks the lady behind the desk could he have some housing application forms. Now she tells him that he'll have to get those online and that they don't give them out. He has kind of a back and forth with her about saying that he got some in there the last time. So anyway, long story short, she says she'll have to print him out a resource sheet and it'll take a couple of minutes, so he decides to wander off while he's waiting. Now he says to the lady in the video that he uses these housing application forms to hand out to the homeless, and if he does do that, then that's a very commendable thing to do. Because people out on the streets like that will not probably have access to a computer and a printer to be able to print out the sheets for themselves. So if he is doing that to help out some homeless people, then fair play to him, and I commend him for that. So while he's wandering around waiting for that lady to print him off some stuff, he encounters this security guard, and that's where we're going to join the video.
Just I'll go and take care of all that stuff for you guys. And
Start
recording. You guys Welcome back.
Can you give me the county manager for here, please?
What do you need it for?
Because I want to speak to him.
In reference to what?
The signs.
Fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right here.
The signs are still incorrect.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Can you start recording, Charles? Jesus.
I think that backup guy that he has there is a bit of a greenhorn anyway. He had to be prompted to start recording. Surely he knows that that's the main thing. You have to be recording all the time in case something happens. The big pressing issue with the signage here is the fact that it has something to do with where client services are taking place. It says you can't record where client services are taking place. He says the client services are taking place behind the counter and they can still record in the lobby, but the signage says otherwise and the people in the building think otherwise. I have no doubt in my mind that he has brought this up on his last visit here, and because it hasn't been remedied to his satisfaction, he's now here to press the issue once again. Things start to heat up a bit when we get inside, and I've had to cut a lot of the foul language out, so if you hear any silent gaps in it, then that's because there's some profanity.
We're not going to allow any recording in this area. You turn it
Okay,
off.
the recording, that's why I need you to call the manager. The recording does not stop here. The recording stops past that counter.
No.
It does.
Right?
It does.
I'm telling you.
And I'm telling
Okay?
you. I
I'm telling you. I dealt with you
I
last time,
thought you would have
right?
lost your job the last time.
No, I didn't. As a matter of fact, I almost got a promotion.
Haha, my man. He ought to get a P. Barnes award along with that promotion as well.
I doubt it.
Okay.
I doubt it.
You're not going to be recording here. We have signs on the door.
Okay, the signs are incorrect, so I'm
Okay.
asking you to give me the manager. I'm
No.
not going to stop recording. I'm not going to stop it.
Then I'm going to escort you out of here. Get out of here right now. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? Get out of here right now.
Please go get the county manager,
No,
please.
I'm not getting the manager right now.
Please go grab the county
No.
manager. If you put your hands on me again, it's not going to go well.
If I have to ask you to stop recording in here, it's not going to go well for you. Okay? You've already been told you're not allowed to
Okay.
record in here.
The signs are incorrect.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to go
Okay,
get
well,
me
we
the
have
Department of
signs,
Health.
so if they're not to your liking, that's on you.
I'm going to ask you to go get the
Okay.
Department of Health guy. Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem. I'm going to ask you to go get the Department of Health guy.
No, I've already called somebody, so we can
Okay.
call somebody, but I don't want you in here camera.
I don't care
okay?
what you want. You just
Okay.
put
Well,
your
I don't
hands
care
on
what
me.
you want either.
You just put
I
your
really
hands
don't
on
care
me.
what you want
so
either.
You can get out of here.
Okay.
You can leave. You're dismissed.
No, you're dismissed.
Did you get him on camera pushing me? Okay. Thank you.
What is defined as client services area?
The client services area is right there. This is everywhere I can go. Mr. Tough Guy over here.
Yeah, I heard you got arrested the last time.
I sure did not.
Oh, I'm so glad you did it.
I have no videos of me being arrested, so good luck on that one.
Well,
Stop talking to me.
you shut up, dude. Get out of here right now. Do you understand me? Get out of here right now.
You got this?
Get out of here right now. Get out of here. Off of me.
Chill out, dude.
Get out of here right now.
Chill out.
Get out of here.
Chill out.
Turn around.
Definitely
You
not
are
happening.
being detained, dude.
Definitely not happening.
Turn around. Right now. Turn around.
And just to remind people, all this aggro and hardship is just over recording a couple of feet of a lobby, which technically he's already done. And what's the story with the sheets that he's waiting on the lady to print out for him? Is that just forgotten about now? Or maybe this was the real reason we came here in the first place?
Hey, you need to get him right now before he loses his life.
So now at this stage, things are getting blown beyond all proportions. He's threatening a man's life now at this stage over a couple of feet of lobby he wanted to record and the signs not being to his liking. To be quite honest with you, I'm not 100% sure of the legalities around that security guard putting his hands on that guy to bring him outside. The Frauditor also claims that the security guard hit him in the face. Now when you do sit back and think about it, maybe that wasn't warranted in this situation as the Frauditor wasn't posing an immediate threat to his safety. If I was in that situation and he wasn't going to leave, I probably would have just called the police. But at the same time, I can understand with the security guard having dealt with this guy on a previous occasion that his back's kinda up now, and I don't know what went on and what was said on the last visit, so you know, there could be some history there with that. As much as it's entertaining to see him getting run out of the place, I don't know if it's quite as professional as it should be from that security guard, but I'd love to know what you guys think, so definitely let me know down below in the comments.
You need to get him right now.
Yeah, it's this guy again. Shut up.
I came here to ask you a couple questions and he just assaulted me and punched me in my face.
Over here at 4400 Wellesley.
He just punched me in my face. I need you to tell him to back up before I hurt him. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. I will try to keep it civil.
We're not talking to you.
Shut
When they get here.
Shut up.
He says he wants to keep things civil as he continues to curse at the man and tell him to shut up. It's like watching an argument on a school playground.
Your guys' signs on the building are still incorrect. I would like to see if we can fix them. Your client services are behind the counter. We are still allowed to record inside the building. He's telling me I can't record inside the building. I can. There's no client services in the lobby.
There are client services, but it's private health information.
Where? Where? Can you show me where? Because there's no client services handling inside the lobby.
Tony's told you that you're not allowed back in the building.
He can't.
I love how when these guys rock up to a place and the people that actually work there day in, day out tell them how the place operates and they tell them, no, that's not how it goes down. Yeah, I think the guy that's running the operation there knows what goes down in the place. And if they're telling you client services go on out in the lobby, there's information being exchanged out there, well then I think they know what they're talking about. You spend a bare percentile of the time that they do here, so I think they know more than you do.
This is a public building. This is ran by the state and the county. And I've already... I wish you would raise that baton at me. Nah, you need to tell him to back up. I'm trying to... He just punched me.
I can't see anything about whether he punched
You want to show him the recording? I wish you would raise it.
Let's cool it.
Tell him to back off and that's how we'll cool it.
He's backed off.
No, he's
We got
not.
PD coming.
He still has the
You can have
baton.
a PD, dude. I'm not dealing with you anymore.
Get back. Good
Not
luck.
here anymore.
Good luck. This is a county building.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, let's go to the Bernalillo County building right now. Let's go to the Bernalillo County. We'll get the state. Let's go. Here, I can't record in a public lobby.
Keep moving, dude. Keep moving.
I wish you would.
Keep
I
moving.
wish you would. Come
Yeah,
on.
what? Bring it.
Come on.
Bring it.
You already punched me in my mouth once.
Bring
I'll
it.
knock you.
See that punch the
I
fuck
will
out of
break
you, right?
your I'll be back. I'll be back in about an hour. You got all that on camera? Good.
All that was uncalled for.
That's a lawsuit right there.
That escalated to a level way beyond what it should have for something so petty. While I don't think the security guard was acting so professional by the way he conducted himself, at the same time that guy went in there looking for trouble, I think. And if you go looking for trouble, it's never very far away. Kinda like looking for rain in Ireland. While I don't 100% condone the actions of the security guard, I have very little sympathy for our frauditor here. I just think it's crazy how these people can go into these places and annoy people that are just doing a day's work and antagonise them to the point of doing things that they most likely would not normally do. You can only antagonise people and push their buttons for so long. This incident was completely unnecessary. The whole thing could have been avoided and nothing got achieved in the long run. He was supposed to be waiting on a printout off that lady at the reception desk so he could get housing forms for the homeless. But that seems to have fallen by the wayside now and being forgotten about. And you hear him mentioning at the end that that's a lawsuit. He created the whole situation here in the first place. And unfortunately the security guard took the bait. It's just been an absolute waste of everybody's time. And I'd love to know what you guys think, so let me know down below in the comments. I hate bringing this up guys, but various different government departments have been passing the buck with us lately. The FBI have been telling us that the CIA are paying us and they're telling us to hit up the IRS. I'm being assured from this person, that person that we're going to get paid, but the long story short is we ain't getting paid. So yes, yet again we've had to do another sellout sponsorship and I do apologise folks. But rest assured, as soon as those checks come in, this madness will cease. So with all that being said, I guess we'll have a word from the sponsor of today's video. Knights of the Fraudit, here's your stallion. The drink for freedom. The drink for federal indictments. The drink for a man who's alone against the system.
Frauditor Thunder.
The pride is back. It's the power of a Red Bull. Looks cheap, but it's so expensive. Vitamin injected. Inject me. Frauditor Thunder. On the thirsty road of life, you have to pay to prove you can. Live the emotion of an individual with the awesome power of nature distilled into one energy drink. Because after you get struck by lightning, there's thunder.
Frauditor Thunder.
Frauditor Thunder, the ultimate recovery after you've been acquainted with Mr. Sparky. Does anybody remember when this channel used to have some integrity? Now we've been reduced to flogging cases of Frauditor Thunder. My handler has an awful lot. Moving along to our next segment now, we're going to be taking a look at two short clips. We're on our way to the golden state that is California for both clips. We'll be heading to a police station in Tustin and to an armory in Visalia. I'll explain a couple of the reasons why I've decided to show these clips after we've done looking at them. But I suppose my main aim is to show how we can look at clips that end like these particular ones do in a whole different perspective.
How you doing?
Who are you and why are you recording our station?
Excuse me?
Who are you?
Who are you?
I am Sergeant Kerwin with the Tustin Police Department. Who are you?
Badge number?
1031, right there.
1031. All right.
And you are?
Just American citizen. You know. I've never been here, so I'm just doing a little short story right here. Yeah.
A short story?
Yes, sir.
Do you have ID with you that I can see?
Identification?
Yeah.
For what?
So I can see who you are. You know who I am.
Yeah. Well.
Can I see your ID? No, your ID.
The police ID?
No, that's the badge numbers.
Yeah, you want the badge number?
No, your ID.
My driver's license? Why do you want to see my driver's license?
What do you want to see ours for?
Well, you're videotaping the front of the police car. That's why I know who you are.
Crime?
What's that?
Is that a crime?
Not a crime at all. Just asking you if I can figure out who you are.
No, thank you.
Yeah. No thanks on my part either.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're just gonna videotape and take pictures?
Yes, sir.
Okay, make sure you stay in the public areas, please.
Yeah. Yes, sir. We know our boundaries. Yes,
Enjoy
sir.
the rest of your day.
All right. You too.
Very much, sir.
Have a good one.
Stay safe out there.
He tried to ID us.
Can I help you?
No, thank you.
No, what are you doing?
Just doing a short story here in Visalia.
On what?
Yeah, just doing a short story here in
Turn the
Visalia.
camera off.
Why is that?
Because you're on state property. This is private property. This
Okay.
is public property. Turn the camera off.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go on public sidewalk
No.
then.
What are you videotaping?
I just told you.
This is a secure area.
I understand that.
No, you do not understand because you're videotaping. I'm about ready to take the camera from you. What are you doing?
If you take the camera from me, that's assault, sir.
All right.
Yeah, tell him to go back inside.
Excuse me?
I was talking to him, not you. I said go back inside.
You're telling me to go back inside?
Yeah, you work for me.
No, I do not.
Well, I pay taxes, so yeah.
That's fine. You pay taxes, and I pay taxes too. All right? What are you doing?
I just told you, sir. I'm doing a story.
I can detain you, and we can call the cops. All right?
You do what you have to do, sir. Yep. Walk of shame. Walk of shame, yep. Hold them back. You guys have a good day.
On the face of it, both of those clips don't really provide a lot in terms of entertainment value. We usually come to see somebody getting run out of the place or trespassed or arrested. And when people see a video ending the way that both of those clips did, they tend to be a bit disappointed that nothing actually went on. But when I came across the two of these clips, it kind of got me thinking that we should maybe look at this from a different perspective. The frauditor may look like they may have had some sort of a small victory here in terms of the officer not getting the information he wanted and walking away. Now the frauditors tend to see that as some sort of a small victory for them, and maybe in their own heads it is, but I see it as a victory for that police department. If that officer had pressed the issue on the IDs, got more officers involved and had a whole altercation with them outside the police station, which is exactly what they wanted, then they'd have had something to go and moan about to their supporters of how badly they were treated. The more officers that realise that all these guys want is a reaction on video so they can make them look bad, the better, because then they won't give it to them. And we're actually going to touch on that subject a little later on in the video. In relation to the second clip we had a look at, that guy could have come out, put hands on the frauditor, which would give him exactly what he wanted. He would have been able to go off and make the place look bad. But the fact that another colleague of that army guy came out, brought him inside, the frauditor thinks that he's got a victory there, but it's actually a victory for that armory. See, what happens in some of these places is when a group of frauditors go there and get the reaction that they want, it entices more frauditors to show up at the same location and do the same. So I just kind of wanted to add this little bit into this video here, just to look at those sort of clips from a different angle. And just on a little side note there, I have a little story about that armory that I thought you guys might be interested in. This armory is located on North Acres Street in Visalia, California. And it's called the Daniel Unger Memorial Armory. Daniel Unger from Exeter in California was a specialist with the 1st Battalion 185th Armoured Regiment of the 81st Separate Armoured Brigade Alpha Company. He was killed on the 25th of May 2004 when he was hit by a mortar shell at around 3:30 PM in the afternoon at Camp Kalsu, around 25 miles south of Baghdad, Iraq. Daniel, who was only 19 at the time, was assigned to guard a group of Iraqi contractors carrying out plumbing and electrical work. When the base came under attack and the shells started raining down, Daniel shuffled the local labourers to safety into the bunker, but unfortunately he didn't make it inside himself. Daniel Unger had the unfortunate distinction of being the first California National Guardsman killed in combat since the Korean conflict more than 70 years ago. He will now be the first California Guardsman to have an armory bear his name. The armory is where Daniel first trained in the California National Guard when he joined the military after graduating in 2003. In October 2004, the city of Exeter, California dedicated its newest park as Daniel Unger Memorial Park on Belmont Road and Glaze Avenue after the developer was touched by Daniel's story. In May 2005, the Elkhorn Correctional Facility where Daniel served as Minister to Troubled Youth was renamed Daniel Unger Memorial Chapel. Daniel was posthumously awarded the Bronze Star with Valor Device, Purple Heart, California Memorial Medal, Combat Infantryman Badge and Warriors Medal of Valor from the American Indian Nations of the United States of America. Daniel showed exceptional bravery for someone of such young years. He bravely sacrificed his own life for others, and that courageous act will now always be remembered. I've noticed over maybe the last year and a half or so that frauditors seem to be getting a lot more coverage in the media. That old saying of any publicity is good publicity doesn't really apply here. Most of the coverage seems to be skewed towards them being agitators as opposed to actually doing something good for their communities. And a lot of people would probably say, why are they giving him any exposure at all on television? But when you think about it, it actually might be doing some good, because the more people that get wise to their tactics and what they're actually up to, the better. And something else we're going to look at in a minute there is how the tide may be turning for frauditors. A lot of police departments are now aware of what's going on, and they're actually issuing directives to officers on how to deal with these frauditors. And a lot of the directives seem to be telling officers that if you suspect that these guys are doing a First Amendment audit, just leave them be and they'll go away. And that's what usually happens when they don't get any reaction or they're being ignored. They'll just leave because that's not good content. So let's take a quick look at some of the coverage they've been getting.
They call themselves First Amendment auditors, and sometimes these encounters are confrontational.
Confrontations with police officers caught on video. Is it exercising a constitutional right, or is it baiting law enforcement?
Well, is it a constitutional right, or is it baiting law enforcement?
People behind the cameras call them First Amendment audits. Well, these confrontations have the potential to get out of hand.
They're on social media and known for getting in people's faces. Well, now the state is instructing its 50,000 employees on how to respond to these types of verbal attacks. But we also wanted to hear from the people responsible for these so-called fraudits.
You have to love the way the last lady there calls them fraudits. But when you look at what's being said in only that small collection of news outlets there, you see that they don't really have the greatest of reputations. It's seen as confrontational, things can get heated, they're agitating and baiting law enforcement. It's not really a good look. Some of the networks have actually got one or two of the frauditors on to answer a couple of questions, and we're going to take a look at when Freedom News Now was on for his interview. I think you might remember that guy from a good few Frauditor compilations back, the guy that was walking around head to toe in tactical gear. So let's take a quick look at what he had to say.
Freedom News Now has been posting videos for several years. The person behind it, Justin McDermott.
There has never been a better time than now to do your First Amendment audit.
This video is from 2017. McDermott is outside the Warren Tank Plant, a federal contractor. He's wearing a full face mask, long before COVID, refusing to answer questions about who he is, why he's there, and if he has any weapons.
I mean, these people present themselves. I mean, officers are killed in the line of duty, trying to do exactly what Officer Reed and those officers were doing.
Are they asking legitimate questions?
Oftentimes they are legitimate questions, and I'm okay with questions from officers, and my auditing style has changed throughout the years.
There's absolutely no doubt that he was attempting to provoke the officers.
Stop, yeah, please don't.
Oh, they're grabbing me. They're grabbing me. Am I being detained?
The police commissioner says the plan can be to get even more.
File a lawsuit. They're going to get a settlement from a city. They're possibly going to get the officer terminated.
Another point I want to make is that you see some auditors actually giving out the contact details of these places that they're auditing and encouraging people to ring up, which has a knock-on effect of tying up the phone lines and the people in there, so the people with genuine business can't actually get through to the place.
Outside a prison in Adrian, McDermott is shooting video with 2 cameras when he's approached first by prison officials and says this.
They abuse their inmates every day. Most of them abuse their wives.
You don't know that when you're out there.
Yeah, they don't know any of that about myself either.
What a lame attempt to legitimise what he just said. They weren't out there accusing him of beating inmates or his wife. They probably told him that he looked suspicious because he was walking up and down outside the prison recording. It's a bit stupid when you draw attention to yourself and then get upset when someone approaches you. And then to make yourself look even worse, you just start throwing out random accusations.
Get this, McDermott says this is the key to his First Amendment audits.
There's nothing to hide, then there should be nothing to fear.
At the end of his videos, when police walk away, he draws conclusions, often calling them First Amendment fails.
There goes the walk of shame, guys. These are YouTube channels. Part of it is entertainment value.
Well, at least he admits there that there's another angle to the whole thing, and that being entertainment. But I don't think we'll see any First Amendment audits on C-SPAN anytime soon. He seemed to be pretty open to answering questions during the interview, but when the interviewer asked him the question that we'd all love to know the answer to, he strategically clammed up.
Do you believe that some behavior is deliberately provocative?
Next question.
And there was me thinking that these guys were all about openness and transparency. I'll let you make of that answer what you will. The little smirk at the end says it all. But having a cavalier attitude and feigning ignorance can only get you so far. And as they do gain notoriety, they're having their tactics used against them, just like the undersheriff in this next clip.
Hey, don't grab me, dude. Get out of here.
A couple of weeks ago, another team of 3 First Amendment auditors were confronted by the Saginaw County undersheriff. He says he wanted to get video of their faces. This was their second visit to that department. Their first visit was in the lobby a few days earlier, shooting videos through windows. The undersheriff says several young women employees are inside.
Extremely uncomfortable because they want to know, why is this guy recording me and what are they going to do with the recordings of me?
After this incident, the men filed a complaint with Michigan State Police. The undersheriff says that made a record of who they are.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Go ahead, do your investigation. I went out there so that if something were to happen to one of my employees, I can say these 3 gentlemen were here.
I told the undersheriff about my questions and lack of answers from Justin McDermott.
They believe it only works one way. If they're truly the media, then aren't they subject to the same rules as what apply to you?
The undersheriff there wise to the ways and the tactics of the frauditors. And he makes a good point there. If they really want to be treated like the media, then they should act like the media. A bit of courtesy and respect goes a long way. If you want to be taken seriously and treated like a professional, then you have to act like a professional. It would seem that since auditing has got more prevalent and the fact that it's getting more coverage in the media, that a lot of states now are starting to issue advice to their employees on how to deal with these people when they show up. And the 2 states that seem to be leading the way are Michigan and New York, with both states having issued directives to their employees on how to deal with these guys, and we're going to take a quick look at that now.
The trend prompted this email to go out to 50,000 state employees telling them how to uphold the general rights of the public while remaining vigilant for suspicious behavior. The email continues. The encounters often include behavior that's designed to provoke a reaction that could be viewed as a violation of First Amendment rights. The most important thing to do is to remain calm and pleasant.
It's really a training issue to make sure that you don't engage with these folks. If they're legally in a place where they're allowed to be and they're recording, just let them. What they really want is for you to engage with them and to make you look bad.
Across New York State, police are on to this unique social movement. Patrick Phelan is the executive director of the New York State Association of Chiefs of Police.
You need to have an understanding of how to react to somebody doing that to you, and understand that the best thing that you can possibly do is just not engage.
Some very sound advice there about not engaging. And I can likely see other states following suit and bringing in similar directives to their staff. So the tide may be well and truly turning for these guys and only have themselves to blame really at the end of the day. It was only going to be let go on for so long with the amount of police time being wasted, businesses being disrupted and members of the public being harassed. So more than likely we can expect to see more measures like this in future. And I agree that it is a training issue because times have changed. Police training needs to be brought more up to date with the modern world, especially when it comes to things like First Amendment auditors and cop watchers. But at least so far as we've seen in Michigan and New York, at least that's on the radar. There's actually another frauditor I've come across when I was making this video that has an interview, but I'm going to include that in Frauditor Compilation number 17. So to make sure you don't miss out on that and future videos, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. Coming soon on the channel we'll have Airline Agitators 4 where we'll be looking at some rogue pilots. We'll also have a pursuit video coming up, which is something we haven't had on the channel in quite some time, and in that pursuit our suspect abandons the car and tries to hitch a ride on a train to get away from the police. And this week for our channel members I'll have a brand new members only video, so keep your eyes on the community tab so you'll get notified when I post that video. I'll also be sharing a sneak peek at something that I have planned for later on in the month with the channel members as well, so keep your eye on the community tab for more information on that. And if you'd like to get access to members only videos and you'd like to help support the channel, then why not consider becoming a channel member. You can find out more information by hitting the join button down below this video or checking out the link down below in the description. Well, that just about wraps things up for Frauditor Compilation number 16. I thank you very much for joining me, and please do let me know what you thought down below in the comments. And if your local police department has issued any sort of a directive or advice to any of their staff and you know about it, please do let me know down below in the comments, and maybe we'll cover that in a future video. As always, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to smash that like button, as it helps get the video out to more people and it's very much thoroughly appreciated. Other ways you can help support the channel are listed down below in the description, including links to our merch store and also to our blog over on Ko-fi. You can also send us a super thanks by hitting the little heart button down below this video. Once again, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I'll be back in the next couple of days with another video. I hope you'll join me then. In the meantime, why not browse through our channel and have a look at one of our other videos, or choose from one of the ones that should be appearing on screen now. Until next time guys, stay safe, take care, peace. Because after you get struck by lightning, there's thunder.